Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's not even morning. It's just the words that come out of my mouth. It is so not morning. It is the exact opposite of the morning. So, welcome to Synergetic Games. My name is Natalie, and welcome to our channel. Today, we will be continuing on with our journey with Blacksad, the detective. Those of you who are unfamiliar of it, is Zootopia meets detective noir, and it's very interesting. But you know, sometimes there are things that you just don't want to think about. Essentially, how relationships work. But I don't want to think about it. But I think, for the sake of argument, we should. I'll just bring you over now. So give it a second. It might need to wake up. The last time I tried to launch this, it took like a decade, so I had to like close the game and open it again. You'll have to excuse me. Apparently, I've decided to wear my dressing gown. It's cold. So it is black at the moment, but don't worry about that. Oh yeah, alright. Here we go. It helps if I maximize the program. There you go. You have a thing now. So like when we last left off, we were busy sneaking into a warehouse. And we had to because at the moment we're following a suspect who's disguised himself as Yale's Dr. Yale is a wrestler who we were searching for in one of the previous episodes, but we found him. He's been hospitalized. Kind of had a heart attack. So that was a whole thing. How was the house aware? It said hi when we got there, like no big deal. Hi, Abnock. I was at your stream today. I lurked, but I try to avoid spoilers for like Cyberpunk. But I lurked. I didn't really watch the stream, but I wanted to help you with your ratings. I peaked a little bit, but I want to I desperately want to play Cyberpunk, but I want to do so with as few spoilers as possible. Tried to do non-story stuff. Oh, are you just kind of exploring then, Cyberpunk? Ah, yes. The horse. We're here now. Okay. I'm like that with Skyrim. I'm pretty much...
What does this place have to hide?
I don't really like the main storyline of Skyrim. I think well, I mean, I do like it. It's cool and everything. But... like, my main issue with Skyrim is that people's behavior doesn't change toward you, even after you finish the, Which OS do you think it was, by the way? I don't know, but you use Linux, don't you? Oh yeah, more fun in Skyrim is exploring. Yeah. I also have Windows. I don't know, is Cyberpunk use Linux? Is Cyberpunk ready for that? Like emotionally? It can run on it because of very smart people.
Well, I need
nice.
Help. Who would I call? Pier 36. Meet me in an hour.
Blacksad.
If you're coming from Montgomery, it's the 6th sea-facing warehouse.
What's going on?
And bring the cavalry.
Smirnoff will bring reinforcements to the warehouse. I don't know what's gonna... We're gonna call Smirnoff. And I hope he brings the vodka. Ooh. What's this? It's probably better that you can't open that, Blacksad. Just saying. There's a glove on the floor. It means nothing, okay. August Merrick. Has Cyberpunk sort of improved recently? Because I know a lot of people complain that it was like a buggy mess, which is fair. I don't know if they sort of chucked it out before it was ready or not, but it was long awaited, as it were. I haven't played it since well before the patches, and it was buggy as hell back then. But today I didn't really see any bugs. Oh good, that's good to know. Okay, well... I don't exactly know what we're doing. Nothing in this warehouse seems to work. We'll see what happens next Wednesday. Oh, hey, buddy.
Don't you even think of screaming.
I might not even talk.
I might not even talk. I'm still thinking about it. Like, really.
It looks like an arrowhead.
Warehouse full of weird vats seems like a legitimate business. I think so too.
Answer my questions, and I'll protect you from Mitchell.
What?
As soon as he finds out you've talked to me, he'll kill you. Just like he did to your partner, Randall Lee.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Randall's dead. Are you slow on the uptake? Do you know?
What's this warehouse for?
It's where I take my naps. I thought that was obvious.
I'll give you a minute to think about some more convincing answers.
Yeah, well, I mean, it might be a legitimate business. They're probably only borrowing the warehouse, right? Right? There can't be, like, bodies in there or anything. That would be weird and gross. And definitely far too suspicious. Sure. Oh, hey. I believe in you, son. There's an attic full of Indian objects in the port warehouse. Well, I'm assuming that's what's-his-face's friggin' bedroom. You're just stealing his stuff.
If I'm not mistaken, these are incense sticks, used in cleansing rituals. A dream catcher. It's supposed to protect children during the night, trapping all evil in its spiderweb.
Maybe this is where they're testing interspecies babies. Oh my god. What if I come at him with an axe? Do you think he'd talk to me then?
It could be an Ojibwa totem pole, in which case, the top animal would be a crane.
Right, let's do some big brain time. He might just say, hey, what are you doing with my grandfather's tomahawk?
Everything seems to prove that Gil is a Native American, and I'm almost sure that the woman in the picture is his mother.
Great. Do you want me to tell your mother what you've been up to? I will.
According to this, the warehouse belonged to a Canadian import company.
Well, okay, well, not anymore, apparently, so... Okay, well, let's see if threatening him with his mother, I don't know, is gonna help at all.
You know who'll always believe in you? Your mother. My mother never lost her faith in me. And I gave her plenty of reasons when I was a kid.
The juvenile.
It all started with something as stupid as keeping the change when she sent me for groceries. Then I started stealing fruit from the street stands. And finally, I turned to pickpocketing. Somehow, my mother managed to keep me in school until I got into college. But I never gave her reasons to believe in me then either. I made new friends. The type of friends that convince you to do things that wouldn't make a mother proud. Then Pearl Harbor happened. I got drafted and sent to Europe. They told me killing was my moral duty, but I discovered it could be addictive. Not all victims were Nazis. But when I got back, I was treated like a pariah, a veteran outcast who never should have come back in the first place. And yet, my mother never ceased to...
I also fought in the war. That's where I met Mitchell. They used me, like many of my people. And then they just tossed us aside. The first time Mitchell offered me to do this, I told him to take a hike. I wanted to get my act together, but I ended up begging him. I don't like Mitchell. I don't like the things he makes me do. I don't like that German rat either. But what I like least of all is myself. I
Aww.
don't like what I did during the war, and I don't like what I'm doing now. Do you know what it's like to kill a friend for the sake of the mission? Huh. But my mother, she always thought I'd make amends and start
Probably
anew.
literal, really. Probably literal.
Maybe it's time I did just that. It's number 3.
Ooh, a vat. Big brain time? I think it's big brain time.
What if it was Gil who killed his partner, Randall Lee, under Mitchell's orders?
Hooray! Gil was the sniper. He was, indeed, apparently. Ooh. Key. Ooh. Interesting. Ooh, a secret lair. Hoiked. That's never. No, he's gonna like immediately get trapped in there or something. It's a good job I called for backup. Ooh. Oh dear. Bit creepy.
Go it!
Hey,
You
it's all right. Don't be afraid, little girl.
Who the hell's Belinda?
I don't want to scare you, okay?
Vita, no hurt.
Of course, there's a black and white sock puppet.
Once upon a time, Once upon a time, there was a beautiful princess called...
Brunhilda.
Hi, my name is Brunhilde, and I'm very happy.
said Brunhilde. And then Brunhilde, who had a beautiful name,
Really beautiful.
a really beautiful name, ran into someone
sure
very
did.
special.
Oh, who was it?
A magical cat.
A magical cat called John.
I'm a magical cat. My name is John. Hi, John the cat. I really like magical cats. Hi, Brunhilde. I'm going to use my magical powers to help you. You're out of a cage, too.
Nein, he's sad.
You say silly things, John the cat. So what are you going to help me do? Bake some delicious pies.
Ha ha ha.
I love pies. Which is your favorite? Wow, that's a very hard question. But John the cat, it's the easiest question in the world. Let me show you how easy it is. My favorite pie is... Apple! Whoa, Brunhilde. That's exactly what I was about to say.
Well. Bird. John. Brunhilda. Freund. Do play? It's look.
Okay.
Hi, Bird. Why are you wearing that mask?
Weil. Gas.
Well, maybe we should get out of here. What do you think, Bird? And what about you, Brunhilde? Don't you think that?
Act like a good dad. Is there a big... No. There's probably not enough for big brain time. Yeah, no. Okay, let's do some other things. I don't think there's anything else in this room. Oh dear, he's just gonna go ahead and get locked in here then. Boss Miles Benton, Peter Lowe. Bobby Yale. Why? Okay. What are these, like steroids? Specifically for... They're pill bottles with athlete's name on the label. Maybe it's essence of sports person. Who is somebody Sparrow. Okay, so monkey guy's got something.
A list of names? Somehow related to chemical agents?
Don't hum at me. Sea Sparrow, isn't that the baseball dude? It is, yes, it's the ape guy, I believe.
Subject, Brunhilde Gruner. Treatment, day 1500. The patient's ability to speak continues to diminish. Now she can only pronounce the occasional word in German. Tissue degeneration persists. And yet, perhaps due to drastic reduction of benzylprodine dosage and an increase of ibupropion, we have observed a 3% of deceleration of said degeneration. Furthermore, and perhaps this is the best finding so far, the subject exhibits a mild recovery of her speaking function. It's not a lot, and yet we are on the right track. All hope is not lost.
Right, okay. So, these are probably, like, enhancement drugs for all the athletes. Or maybe they're getting something from the athletes that I don't really know about.
Subject, Craig Spano. Treatment, day 0. The subject is a veteran baseball player who has lost speed, strength, and agility due to the regular aging process. The patient refers intense pain on the right scapula, most likely caused by an old injury. The goals of our medical approach are twofold. To relieve pain caused by the prior injury so that the subject can play without symptoms, and to help the patient regain the physical
There's
condition
probably something
lost in the
highly
aging
legal about what
process,
they're doing.
thus allowing him to perform at elite levels. Treatment. Day 120. The patient no longer feels pain when using his right arm, circumstance that allows him to pitch without fear. So far, the only side effect seems to be a slight euphoria experienced 3 hours after dosage, which subsides 4 hours later, taking the patient on an emotional roller coaster of sorts with bouts of mild trembling. Treatment. Day 341. Moments of euphoria and boosted physical performance have become increasingly short, while the ensuing periods of depression and weakness have become longer, including severe tremor. Although we have met all therapeutic goals, we will proceed to terminate the
I
treatment.
don't know why his dialogue keeps getting cut
In
off, because
order to
the
avoid causing
subtitles
irreparable physical and mental
seem like they
damage
should
to the
go
patient.
on, but they're just not. I mean, it makes sense if Yale had a heart attack, that this would explain his... It would explain the heart attack, I suppose, if it was like withdrawal from
Mitchell is
What if they
cashing
do
in by
find out
selling
about
drugs to enhance athletes' performances.
maybe, but I don't think Spano would. He seemed very upset when turned out what's his face was what was I saying? I don't know. When Dunn died, he seemed upset when Dunn died.
The worst part of Mitchell's scheme isn't that it's illegal or unethical, it's that he didn't even care about compromising the athlete's health.
Gil? You know you're not allowed down here. You know you're not allowed.
You bastard! I should kill you right here, right now!
I don't know.
You don't know? I know you're testing drugs on that girl.
Brunhilde? No, she's my daughter. She was born with a degenerative disease, a rare condition similar to the Angelman syndrome. There are only 4 known cases like hers, and none of the patients reached the age of 5. But I couldn't give up. I continued to research and found something. It didn't make her better, but anyway, that same treatment used on healthy subjects seems to improve their stamina and their reflexes. It also seems to improve their pain threshold. Somehow, the Reich heard about my experiments and tried to recruit me to create super soldiers. Yes, that Reich. We're talking late 30s, Berlin.
Sorry, we're entering into the
I
realms of
escaped
like
with Brunhilde and
Captain
came
America.
to your country. But the American military also heard about me. I spent the
The other
entire
Reich.
war experimenting with drugs on soldiers. Some were highly effective, I must say. When the war was over, my experiments were discarded. I was forbidden all access to the drugs, and Brunhilde got worse. But then God sent me
To be fair, Captain America is
Angus
based on
Mitchell.
real stories. Both
We had
sides tried
met
to
during
create
the
super
war,
soldiers. Yeah,
and he
fair,
came
yeah.
to offer me a deal. I would make drugs for athletes, and he would sell them. With my earnings, I could pay for Brunhilde's treatment. What else do you want me to say?
I noticed Yale's name appears twice on your list of athletes. One mention was crossed out. Why?
I don't know. A couple of months ago, Mitchell told me to prepare pills suited to his profile. But a week ago, he told me to stop. And then 2 days ago, he asked me to make them again.
About those pills. What is he looking at?
Yep.
Don't dwell on it, Josh. You had to tell him the truth in order to protect Brunhilde. I would have done the same thing. Finish packing up your things and stop torturing yourself, okay?
Thanks, Angus. I won't be long.
Oh, honey. You like living here? Yeah, me too. But we have to go somewhere else, and it's all that bad cat's fault. Yes, sweetie. We're going to a new home now. A prettier one. And you'll be happier there. Now go with Papa, honey. Give him a kiss. Go on. Give him a kiss. Go on. I'm sorry about this, Josh, but we gave it our best, didn't we?
What?
Of
What do
course
you
you're
mean,
gonna
Angus?
lock him in the deadly room. With the highly flammable materials.
I wish it hadn't come to this.
Angus, what's wrong?
Goodbye, Josh.
Oh, this is horrifying.
I hope you're happy, son of a bitch. They were good people. I hope that made you feel better. I like it when you smile. You're so far from the truth. What the?
That was a... This is a lot. Get him good, son. Oh my gosh.
The mask would buy me a bit of extra time. The question was, how much? Spano just ran out that way.
Did you kill a man, Spano? Climb faster, you're running out of air. Just fighting to breathe, just
The mask was barely working. I needed fresh air.
stole some drugs. Ooh, he high attack. Where the hell was my backup? I'm glad I didn't call Weekly. He might have died too, and that's a shame.
Craig Spano is back! Did you miss me? Who wants to see a home run? Now you're gonna see. Bring it on! Let's go!
This is that Euphoria that we're talking about, huh? We're gonna like die now of a heart attack. Again, a link to Yale. Just just in case he does die. That's all I'm saying.
No.
Oops. Oops. Dang it! I goofed. Big time. Sorry, Spano. Drugs, not even once.
Don't torture yourself. You did everything you could.
Will he make it?
The doctors think so. They found him unconscious by the basement door.
What?
Oh, hang on.
Could Gil have blocked the basement door from the outside to kill Mitchell?
You think? That's a serious accusation. Are you sure, or is this just a theory of yours?
It's just a theory. Let's hope we get the truth out of him.
Huh. You think Gil was involved in the previous murders?
What if it was Gil who killed his partner, Randall Lee, under Mitchell's orders?
Another serious accusation. Are you sure?
Yeah, good horse guy deserves a second chance.
No, I'm not sure yet. But it very well could be the case.
Wait.
Don't drop Gil in
Couldn't
it.
Mitchell be Randall Lee's murderer?
Mitchell missed 2 shots point blank.
So he misses with 2 shots at point blank range, and then he hits a guy smack in the forehead from across the street? No. Mitchell is not the sniper who wiped out Randall Lee.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But we still don't know what caused Craig Spano's death.
There's no doubt about it. Spano took drugs from the lab, and they killed him.
But if that were true, how many more athletes are in danger? And
Too
most
many.
importantly, who are they? Is Bobby Yale involved?
I didn't see them all, but write down these names. Peter Lowe, Xavier Chains, Helen Moore, Bill Goldman, Miles Benton, Alexander Wood, Jacob Ziegler, and yes, Bobby Yale.
Well, so another
Thanks.
Yale.
Saving lives for a change, huh? In any case, thanks for the call. I was starting to think you'd never trust the police again.
I don't trust the cops, I trust you.
I don't trust the cops. I trust you.
Hey, John. Surprise. It could have given a tip to a friend, don't you think? Or is that only the case when I helped you?
Oh, poor boy.
Get that guy out of here.
Oh, weakly.
All right. Let's get this over with. When the war ended, Mitchell convinced Groon to use his super soldier drugs on elite athletes. Somehow, Dunn found out about Mitchell's scheme. So when Mitchell heard that Dunn was onto him, he ordered Randall Lee to kill him and frame Yale for the murder. Then, he made Randall search Dunn's house and the gym for any incriminating evidence he might have had against him. The poor cleaning lady died almost by chance. When you stuck your nose in the case, he tried to scare you by sending his thugs to give you a beating. And when that didn't work, he asked Randall Lee to finish you off on the gym rooftop. But Randall not only failed, he got captured. So Mitchell ordered Gil to put a bullet through his head, which only made Gil upset. You kept getting closer and closer to the point of discovering his headquarters. When Mitchell realized he was cornered, he burned his bridges by setting the lab on fire, along with Dr. Groon and his daughter. Gil saw the opportunity to get back at Mitchell, so he blocked the only exit so that he would also die in the fire. Did I leave any loose ends?
Just a few. But don't worry about it. I'll take care of them now. So I guess thanks for everything.
Feel bad about Weekly. Could have given him a chat, have an exclusive interview with the police or something. You know what? I'll tell you all about it later, Yale. Weekly.
In your classic noir films and novels, solving a case never amounts to a happy ending. The detective is always left with a sense of bitterness. A feeling that, before he took the case, the world was a better place. That he was a better person.
Come on, now speed it out!
Sometimes I just let my character get the best of me.
What do you want from me?
I told Stone what I knew. That he was going to let Yale win. That if he didn't, O'Leary would destroy Helen Moore's career. And that Moore was doomed either way. Or would be, as soon as America discovered her sweetheart was on drugs.
I don't believe you. No way. Who sent you?
Today? Nobody.
And what if I did believe you? What would that change? If I don't do this for her, how could I ever look her in the eyes? How could we stay together?
You think you'll stay together when you lose your title and they accuse her of doping?
At least I know I tried.
I know your record. Your rise to the top is clean. Free of both O'Leary's and drugs. God. You might just be one of the only honest athletes I've met recently. Please don't let them change that.
Is it all about being professional to you?
Suit yourself. But trust me, your manager is a murderer. Get as far away from him as possible.
Hey, Blacksad.
I'll think about it.
I tried not to get Gil in trouble, but I don't think it worked. I think Avenarius was alive, but he died recently, which is why one of the Yale's things. Unless, of course, they cancelled Bobby Yale's drugs because they thought he might die or something. And then he's like, oh, wait a minute, we can get him to recover. We just have to sneak him some drugs in the hospital. Because Yale went missing, so he cancelled the drug supply or whatever, and then they found him in the
confirmed
hospital.
to me that
Oh,
Dunn
no,
found
wait.
out that Mitchell was giving him meds. That was the reason they argued the evening of his death.
In fact, I was clean at the time. Hadn't used for days. I didn't want to go down that road. I wanted to follow Joe.
But he discovered everything.
He didn't believe me when I said I had nothing to do with it.
But you used again.
Only after his death. I needed to cope.
But the drugs gave you a panic attack.
And you
Yeah.
hospitalized yourself.
But I've been clean ever since.
Mitchell gave you the pills when he stopped by the hospital. Hence, your miraculous recovery. Are you planning on taking them before the fight? Don't do it, Bobby.
Someone has to save the gym. I owe it to Joe. And Sonia. And my Aunt Mary.
You owe them integrity.
The only thing you owe them is integrity. What would Dunn think of you now?
I keep thinking of like South Park Integrity Farms.
Sorry about your Aunt Mary.
They just
She was
keep
a good
throwing the
woman.
word integrity around like it means things now. I can't think of the word integrity without thinking Integrity Farms. Which, if you're not familiar with South Park, it's a marijuana farm, basically. I feel like I'm missing stuff. Like, it feels over, but also this doesn't feel over.
Stone and Yale hadn't taken away the bitterness I felt. I needed a friend. He was outraged that I hadn't given him the tip, but he let it go as soon as I bought him a milkshake.
Hi, friends.
After the perfect storm of corruption
Feels like
and
you
murder,
could have saved everyone, but I don't.
only
Probably.
friendship could
Maybe.
reconcile me with the world. Only that.
I definitely
Make me
wanted
believe
whatever
in
that was
mankind
with
again.
Avenarius to come to light.
Only that could cleanse my soul. Only that.
I'm good, Starbreeze. How are
and
you?
money.
Friendship and money solves all sorts of things, and I would agree. Kinda. Money is very helpful, but the friends, good friends, are just healthy to have around. Good, I'm glad
In
you're
your standard
okay.
noir novel, Yale and Stone would be punished for breaking the rules. There would be justice for Sonia, the victim. But this was the real world. As the detective who had cracked the case, I just had to get my paycheck and be on my way.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Blacksad. Mr. Thorpe is on his way. Care to take a seat while you wait?
Did he tell you why he's running late?
He'll be here in a minute. Please, take a seat.
What's the betting he comes in here and he's got his legs back. He's like, oh, Blacksad, what are you doing here? Whoops. He's probably on drugs too.
No matter how many
Build a
curveballs
new
destiny
you.
throws his way, he always manages to land on his
So it
feet.
says create
when he was a
yourself
rising
in
sports
you,
talent,
so
the
translation
war put
slightly
an
off
end to
there.
his career. So he became a war hero. After the war, he didn't end up like Gil or like me. He became an elite athlete, a Hall of Fame football star. When an accident left him in a wheelchair, he went on to succeed in advertising. The last time I climbed a skyscraper, I had very different intentions. I wasn't there to claim my reward. I was there to punish someone.
everyone's on drugs at this point. Yet, basically, that's the plot. Thorpe hires athletes for advertising campaigns.
That's not possible. But what if Tim Thorpe was somehow involved in Mitchell's operation?
Mr. Blacksad? Mr. Thorpe is running later than expected, but he insists on meeting you, if you don't mind.
Sure. As long as you help me fight off this boredom.
That's not in my job description, but...
If I had her markings on my skin, would I be the same person? Would my name be different?
PM John Blacksad, 5 PM dinner with the mayor.
If my hunch is right, there should be a meeting with Mitchell noted somewhere in Thorpe's agenda.
Has anything odd happened at the agency lately?
Well, you see, I've got a problem. In order to figure out how much Mr. Thorpe owes me, I need to know what day I started working on the case. But I can't remember. You wouldn't have that written down, would you?
It sure wasn't on my shift. I'd remember. Let me see.
$10:15 a.m. Lula's 12:30 dinner with the governor. Cast. Miles Benton. Congressman Wallace. Meeting with Millard Smith, hospital. Meeting with Dylan Combs. Lunch with Paul Rosenberg, Oyster Restaurant. Gomez, maybe? I don't know. I couldn't read it properly anyway. Meeting with Bobby Yale, meeting with Reg McNeil, meeting with Claude Hinkham. 11:30, John.
What?
Dunn?
Dunn was here 2 days before he died? Why didn't Thorpe ever mention that?
I'm sorry, but your name's not on here.
Wait, I just remembered something. The day I came, Joe Dunn had just walked out the door.
Well, no. You don't have any appointments. Although, I guess I could have forgotten to write you in. Mr. Dunn, who's usually very kind, left in a flurry. He even slammed Mr. Thorpe's door.
Okay. Now I know I have to get into Thorpe's office.
And he didn't even say goodbye.
Yes, that was the day. You don't recall me because the minute I saw Dunn stomp out, I followed him. I never actually came in.
Of course. That explains it.
No doubt. So, since it looks like Mr. Thorpe won't be here soon, I think I'll go take a walk down the hall. Gotta stay in shape.
She's like, okay, you freaking weirdo.
Come on, Thorpe. Tell me there's a back door to your office.
Read the map on the wall. Well, there's 2 doors.
If Weekly were here, I'd have to tie his hands behind his back.
Ooh, what's this? Bobby Yale.
So, you had something to do with that chest expander after all.
It was an advertising campaign thing, I suppose. Get out the door.
Should I play the Smirnoff trump card again?
Not yet.
No, this is nothing but a hunch.
Ooh, hello. Why is everything weird? Stop brooding. I'm not here for you to brood. Oh, look. A window into the
Cats aren't afraid of heights. That's why I've never felt vertigo.
Great. Thanks for the info. Okay, this is the conference room.
But one of his strengths, the accuracy of his throw. I earned the nickname Iron Arm. I used to throw the ball in 50 miles, and yeah, when wherever it wanted. And my coach, the great Joffrey Sachs, and so I worked hard. Pearl Harbor. I enlisted immediately.
Such wonderful mumbling.
After losing a partner in combat, a serious injury, I asked to be relocated. I became a sniper. I know I shouldn't say this, but I was one of the best in the army, and it was all thanks to my accuracy. No, it was all thanks to Jeffrey Sachs. I wonder how many Americans that man saved with my arm. After these words, Tim Thorpe is moved almost to tears and asks me to take a break. It's shocking to see how an athlete and soldier, a man whose aim and skill won him a Medal of Honor and the nickname Surgeon among his brothers in arms. That can't be. I mean, it could be a coincidence, but no.
My God.
Why am I surprised? In every investigation, there comes a point where every single lead seems to go down the drain. And you have to retrace your steps to get back on the right track. That's it. Thorpe is the man behind the whole drug operation.
What is this screen about? I don't get it. This is us, we're just making deductions. We're having a big brain time. So basically we're just sort of here connecting all the dots. don't know if there's supposed to be a deduction in there, but I think there should be.
I better not use it. It might be connected to the switchboard at the front desk.
Blooming Shooting Club, F. Okay.
It's a bit strange to see no office chair behind a desk, until you remember the desk's owner is in a wheelchair.
Thank you, this is what I needed. Maybe Surgeon is a sniper. Sniper killed Randall. One of the Dunn's army friends pretending to be a doctor. Yeah, no, they are definitely together, but I think I just needed this. You don't know that, do you? Well, maybe. Maybe it just helped him aim better, I guess. Are there drugs in the universe of Harry Potter? One assumes so. Yeah, probably. I mean, a love potion is technically a drug, I guess. And any potion is a drug by nature. But also, Muggle drugs is still a thing. D&D has rules for drugs, we must assume so.
trap. Of course.
I guess you better take that gun then, huh? Bet they make him walk again.
What if Groon's drugs helped Thorpe walk? Of course, it wasn't Mitchell or Gil. It was Thorpe who shot Randall at the hospital. Everything adds up now. And yet I can already hear Smirnoff telling me I have no conclusive evidence. What if I set a trap for Thorpe? But how?
It is skooma. You can find Sid in Skyrim. That's a D&D drug. I've only seen skooma in Skyrim. Wingardium Leviosa. If only that was my excuse. Well, I mean, I suppose it'd be interesting if there was more of a variety of drugs in Skyrim, but I don't know. they can make potions out of mandrakes in Harry Potter, imagine the shit they could do with peacock feathers. We don't talk about peacock feathers. No idea how you'd connect them, but maybe the plan is to get Thorpe to walk to shoot you? Yeah, I thought about that. But, what?
Ha! What if I place Thorpe's gun up there and corner him so that he has to stand up to get it? The show was about to begin. All I needed was an audience and some patience.
Stop it!
Arr! Don't you know who you're dealing with, matey?
What a silly man.
Mutiny! You wants to be shark-bait, do ya? Oh, Blacksad. I feel terrible for keeping you waiting.
John.
But you see, there was mutiny on board, so...
Stop.
You see what I have to put up with. All right, gentlemen, to the cabin with you! Onward!
Yeah, I can't.
Come along, Blacksad.
Sonia seems
Julie,
much
don't let
happier.
anyone bother us. Honey, will you wait in the boardroom for me, please?
But...
I'll just be a minute then. I think you've already suffered enough.
Okay.
It's time to make her even more miserable.
And think about where you'd like to have dinner tonight, okay? You see, I'm not gonna pay you for solving the case.
I'll see you in court.
Fair enough. The truth is, I didn't solve it.
No, it's not that. You'll get every penny we agreed on, and more. But not because you solved the case, but for her. 2 days ago, she wanted to end it all. Drop out of college, sell the gym. Too many wounds to heal. But through your incredible work, you managed to heal them. Well, perhaps not completely.
I am a therapy
It
cat.
takes time to get over something like this. But at least, thanks to you, Sonia wants to be happy. She has hope. I'm going to help her make Dunn's Gym the best in the city. Who would have ever guessed it, huh?
I'm happy for her. She's been through a lot, and honestly, I wasn't sure she'd make it.
Well, she hasn't just yet. But she will in time.
Therapy.
Anyway, back to the case. All those people you confronted. Gil, the German doctor, even Mitchell. Huh. I would have never suspected him. Did they say anything? Why did they do it? Did they mention any accomplices?
They did mention a certain surgeon.
Surgeon? You have any idea who that could be?
I'm sure this comes as no surprise, but it was Angus Mitchell himself. In fact, you gave me the lead by telling me he was a doctor.
Sure. Yeah, sure. I'm glad I could help. Although, you see, besides my esteem for Joe and Sonia, this ordeal really hits close to home.
I would have never guessed it.
Sports are my livelihood. Do you know how many of the athletes involved have a deal with me?
How do you know that?
What?
Oh, wait. Sonia told you.
Yes, that's it. Sonia told me.
That's funny. I never told Sonia.
Well then, do you know how many of the athletes involved have a deal with me?
I think I have a slight idea.
So far, the papers only talk about bodies down at the docks and an illegal lab. Not one has mentioned the athletes. But if one word gets out, this agency's future could be on the line. Not to mention Sonia's and the gym's. Could I ask you to be discreet?
Sure. I'll be discreet. For a bonus.
Oh, sure. I get it. How much are we talking about?
Twice the amount we agreed on.
That seems fair enough. Anyway, that's it. Julie has your check. Don't forget to claim it. As for your bonus, I'll send it along soon. Don't worry about it. Thank you again, Blacksad. I don't know what state Sonia would be in if it weren't for you.
I had to act, then and there, or let Thorpe get away with it.
Excuse me for not standing.
No, I won't excuse you. I know you could stand if you wanted to.
I'm sure you've got good intentions, but you're wrong. What makes you think that? I'm sure there's an explanation.
I know that you are a highly skilled sniper. And I think it was you who shot Randall Lee
He's
at the
been
hospital.
lying to everyone.
Have you
He
seen me,
absolutely has.
Blacksad? How could I possibly do that?
According to Spano, the mastermind was a certain surgeon.
His nose is so
I thought it was
strange.
Mitchell, but now I know the truth. A journalist told me. Ring a bell?
I hired you to solve this damn case. You think that's what a murderer would do?
Only because you thought I'd blame Bobby Yale and drop the case. But as soon as I realized something wasn't right, you sent Randall Lee and Gil to give me a scare. And when all that failed, you ordered Lee to kill me.
You're the type that won't open his jaws once he's got his prey, aren't you?
Depends on the prey.
Depends on the prey.
Frogs have noses. I think so.
Put yourself in my place for a minute.
They've got lungs.
You're a promising football player who just got back from the war, but you're still a nobody. The man you saved kindly opens his house to you. And that man is
They're
still
amphibious,
undone
you see.
by his wife's passing. He works all day at his gym, and he drinks himself to sleep at night. So you practically end up raising his daughter. You give her her very first abacus. You encourage her to further her education. You comfort her when she misses her mother and her father. Meanwhile, your sporting career takes off. Life is good. Until one day, out of the blue, an accident cripples you. An old friend, Mitchell, tells you he knows someone who can help you. A German doctor. His drugs take some time to work, but they do wonders. You manage to walk for short bursts at a time, little by little. And those bursts keep getting longer. But the drugs aren't cheap at all. So you have to find a way to pay for them, don't you see?
You started selling drugs to athletes.
So you started by selling drugs to athletes. Then you decided to start an advertising agency to hire those same athletes. Drugs would help them excel, and you'd get better ad deals. The perfect business model. Your first client? Craig Spano. His career had hit a rough patch, so...
You used him as a guinea pig.
He was the guinea pig for your new operation. And yet, when the drug started having serious side effects, you got rid of him. Afraid he would talk, you tried to kill him. That's why he hid. From then on, your business was smooth sailing. You even began to think you were above the law. You thought that you were untouchable. Until Joe Dunn found out, and then, 2 days before his unfortunate death, he came to see you.
That's enough now! You stop it! Now, I don't know if I'm above the law, but I am sure as hell not beneath it. Do you know how much power I have? The kind of people I eat with every day? I could shoot you right now, and nothing would happen to me.
With that gun you keep in your drawer? I'm afraid not. I placed your pistol out of reach, just in case you happen to confirm my suspicions, Ironarm. And now, if you'd excuse me, I have an appointment with the police.
People I eat every day.
I won't let anyone wreck my life again.
Also, there are no bullets in that gun.
Sonia and I, we deserve a future.
You can come in now, Smirnoff.
Timothy Wilson Thorpe, drop your weapon. You're under arrest. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, the state will provide one for you. Mr. Thorpe.
He didn't shoot Sonia, did he? Oh.
Huh?
Okay. It was the other way around. I was slightly alarmed.
Sonia Dunn, you are under arrest for the death of Timothy Wilson Thorpe. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law.
Just shut up. Sonia should never set foot in jail.
Blacksad, don't.
She saved the state time and money.
You and I have done similar deeds. You remember, right? If you're gonna arrest her, arrest me first, and then arrest yourself.
No, there's no way this could work. How do we hide this? John?
I'll put the bullets back in the gun. Thorpe had me at gunpoint, but I was faster. We're doing the right thing, Chief.
John, why do I end up getting my hands dirty every time I'm close to you?
Because you're a good boy. That's what we call a toxic friendship. He's a good boy and that's a bad kitty. That's true. That is true. They should have been buried closer together.
After everything that had happened, the last thing I was interested in was the fight. Did Yale take drugs before the fight? Did Stone let him win? I had done everything in my power for things to go the way my moral compass dictated. Whether anyone would listen to me, that was another story.
I'm not sure Yale didn't take drugs.
Because no matter what they tell us, our actions don't always determine our future. My moral compass. As if I even knew what that means. I didn't even know what to think of my performance throughout the case. Did I have
wishy-washy if you ask me.
Would I have made the same decisions, given the chance?
No? Blacksad dropping the truth bombs. This is what they do, the brooding detective types. This is what happens. That was a reasonable sesh, guys. Can't complain much about that one. Although I'm really annoyed I don't get to see who wins the fight. They built that one up for ages. It was satisfying though, wasn't it? See, I did say that it kind of felt unfinished. I still want to know what happened with Athenarius completely. I mean, like, we've obviously drawn our own conclusions, and I feel like they're right. But I'd have liked that to have come out. And nobody wins, it's a barbaric whistle. Not like chess though. That's like the opposite of barbarism, even though it's literally a game about war. Just makes us devils. We win through trickery and cunning. Yep, interactive. Move those animals around. You don't mean anything to us. Also true. The sanctity of life means nothing in chess. Of course they were gonna break out the sax. Why wouldn't they break out the sax? I think it's a sax and not a trumpet. Is it a trumpet? I don't know. I don't do instruments. I like Smirnov. I think he's my favorite character in the whole thing. Who doesn't love a good boy? I hadn't heard of this game before watching you play it. But you know, I found it on Steam. I was just kind of looking for like narrative-heavy games, and I kind of came across that one. It was on sale, so I thought, why not? Let's try it. And I'm glad I did, because there's a lot of good that came out of that game. Just gameplay-wise. It raised some strange questions that I don't want to think about. But, you know, plot-wise, it was pretty good. The characters were strong. And there was a certain amount of mystery that's not like, oh, it's blatantly obvious, why are you giving me the runaround? But it did do that very tropey thing of like, oh, but there's a last minute twist and it was this guy all along. Very, very typical of the trope and the genre, I suppose. So not too bad. It lives up to expectations. This is why I love the CK series. It reminds me of the Choose Your Own Adventure books I read as a small boy. I love those. I love them. It raises strange questions about interspecies relationships I don't want to think about. Exactly, that's what I said. It's pretty much exactly what I said at the beginning of this session. Yeah, no, I love Choose Your Own Adventure stuff. I used to read those books a lot as well. And I'm not gonna lie, it sparked joy. I'm gonna pull that down for a bit. You condo your life up. But yeah, no, like, Choose Your Own Adventure stories are like one of the whole reasons I became interested in stories and writing in general. Because I'd always liked to explore choices in that way. And it's nice to be able to do that for yourself, to make your own decisions in a story and also write your own story in your own way. 'Cause, you know, the amount of times you read a book and you're like, oh god, why are they making that decision? Not just like the writer themselves, although sometimes you do ask that question, but like the characters in particular, like, why are they doing this? What is their logic? But yes, very early on, this is kind of what sparked my interest in stories. The Choose Your Own Adventure stuff. Not Blacksad, that would be weird. Okay. We're all finished now. Well. Fun times. Books do that thing of logical absurdity where it makes sense because... Shut up! Of course it does, even though no sensible person would do that thing. Yeah, it is there is very much a case of sometimes a certain amount of absurdity that comes into, you know, comes into it. It's like there is a certain amount of, I need you to make this choice to make the story work. So you're going to, regardless of whether or not it actually makes sense. Which I try to avoid in my stories. I try to make everything, you know, as logical as possible, but sometimes you just do have to do stupid shit to make the story work. Which is fine. Absolutely nothing. Therein lies the problem, I think. Life isn't logical. That is true. There is a lot more feeling in, you know, a lot of choices you tend to forget are emotion driven. Like, I don't make a lot of choices based on my emotions. I'm fairly logical about it. But also, I make a heck of a lot of choices based on my emotions. See, I think I'm one way, but I'm like, you know, I wouldn't say I was a comfortable mix of both, but you can't say that a person is purely logical. That's not possible. Yeah, you gotta emote. Exactly. I think when we write, we try to keep things logical and chronological. Exactly. Yeah, you do. But this is kind of, I did have like a sort of, detective mystery idea for a novel once. But I just don't think in this sort of way. I'm not good at literally tying things together in a story. I can do plot threads and do all the sort of narrative writing and nonsense and things, but I can't, like, oh, do this and then do this and then like gather this bit of information and then this comes up without it being like plainly obvious. I'm going to slap you in the face with this plot point right here. I'm not practiced at building mystery. So that's something that I am working on. I've written the starts of things so many times and stopped because what's life without whimsy? Exactly. Yeah. Definitely takes a lot to like finish something, but like there has come a point many times when I was like plotting out ideas or thinking of a story and I'm like, I get to the point where I'm like, what is the story? It's completely absurd. I can't publish this nonsense. So like a lot of times I get quite far in the planning of things and then I realize, no, it's an absurd idea. I can't do this. Or I just can't figure out a way to make it work. Man, I wish I thought more than I used to. I mean, sometimes when when I got into writing in earnest, I started writing fan fiction, and most of the time, I've read a lot of fan fiction to begin with, and then when I started writing my own fan fiction, I mostly just like read stories, saw one that I liked the idea of, but I thought, I can do it better, and then I proceeded to do it better. But then it comes to the point where it's like, it's not really better, it's just different, because, you know, creative writing is subjective, as most creative things are. So I didn't do it better, I did it different. Which is what I'm gonna say that, like, officially. I think it's very arrogant to say that I am better than whoever at whatever, because it is a matter of taste, what you like to read and what you don't. I once read a 2,000-ish word short story when I was hammered on whiskey. I hope that went well. I expect there were lots of spelling errors. I don't know, I've read some fanfic. That stuff is not always good. No, it isn't. Some of it's complete trash, but you have to remember that the people who write fan fiction are doing it because they enjoy it, or they're doing it because they want to fix something about the story, or they're doing it because they want to practice writing, or they want validation or whatever, and that's all completely valid. But most of the time I would enjoy writing fanfic. Yeah, that's how we get 50 Shades. I got a lot of upset friends who read it and hated me for the feels. Aww. Oh, there's nothing better than getting hit in the face with feels, to be honest, when you're reading. If you can make people feel when they're reading your work, that's an achievement. So congratulations, man. Enjoy writing fanfic. Yeah, that is how we got 50 Shades. And then we got the 50 Shades fandom. I've never actually read that. I was forced. I didn't realize at the time when I started reading it, but I was forced to read a page of it in one of my uni classes. They took an extract from it, and we just had to read the page to analyze it. We were analyzing writing, or I can't remember exactly what that lecture was about, but we were forced to read it, and that upset me when it dawned on me what that was. I've never read it either. I just know how bad it is for the community. Yeah, exactly. It is a terrible and insulting representation, apparently. And to be honest, a thing in writing is writing what you know. And obviously, the author didn't do that, and probably did bare bones research, if any at all. You just kind of assumed that this is how this goes. But no, she just sort of ventured into the realms of toxic relationships and creeps. Unless she's just had some seriously toxic relationships with rich men. Maybe, yes, maybe that's what she knows. I don't want to think about it. I can't help it. Okay, do you know what? Do you guys, want to check out, how about, do you guys want to check out, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard? Do you want to do you guys want to do a little raid for a few minutes? If you've got nothing else. I feel like Resident Evil Village. That sure is a thing. Let's raid. Okay, let's do that. Let me do a thing. Hang on, I will find it. How to raid. Here we go. Here you go. Join us. I'd love to, but I need sleep. Just say hi and then you can leave. Make me look cool. I hate how they're allowed to do that. Being little jobs. Yeah, that's true. Good night, Abnock. I'll see you. See you about. Sleep well when you go and have a fun time at work. Okay, let us pop over to the channel and then see how that goes. Sure, he'll never be as cool as Bearded Viking Man, but sure. Yeah, you're right. Thanks. Alright, I'll pop us over now, guys. Thanks for coming.